Hey, Tyler's here. Okay, I know I'm very late to this challenge, but it sounded like fun, so I'm doing one. For those who are unfamiliar, in this Warrior Cats challenge, you are given a general list of characters. It will be included in their name, status, pelt colour, and eye colour. With this information, you draw them out and make a clan with them. Simple enough. Now, I've actually done 3 clans, well, 2.5, but I'll get to that later. Today is about Hawthorn Clan, and when I give a general summary of the story I made, it will be in Hawthorn Clan's POV. So for this video, we'll go over Hawthorn Clan, their characters, general personality, and explain the world story. And to make sure everything makes sense, here's Hawthorn Clan and Water Clan. Well, the map of Hawthorn Clan and Water Clan. Messed that up in the script. Now, I hear you ask, what is the third clan that I mentioned? And why is it not on the map? Well, as explained the world story, it will be clear. And why it's not here yet. And before anyone asks, no, it's not Starclan. Now for the map. We have general locations like Standing Oaks, Rolling Hills, and Squirrel Birch. And this pink part of Great Rock is where gatherings are held. On the left is Water Clan, and on the right is Hawthorn Clan. All good? All clear? Good, let's get into this video. Hawthorn Clan's leader is Brindlestar. She's described as a black and red tortoiseshell tabby with short fur and yellow eyes. Now, here I'd like to note that when the website said tortoiseshell, I thought of calico for some reason, and I didn't realise my mistake until the very last cat. I have also loved tick tabbies. I adore their design. So some cats I change to be ticked when they're not, except for the one that says they are ticked. I don't know why, I must have not seen it. Okay, back to Brindlestar. Here's our tortoiseshell girl. Now, she is young for a leader. In fact, she has only been just become leader of Hawthorn Clan. I'll explain this when I talk about the story, but for now she's considered inexperienced and she feels that way. When it comes to leading her clan, she leans heavily on her medicine cat, Thornstream, and often does counsel with her deputy elders. But for personality, she's a very calm yet chaotic neutral cat. By this I mean she's often level-headed and keeps herself calm in tense situations, but her sense of morality is a little wonky. She's the type of leader who can confidently make a quick decision in a pinch, and when it comes to battle, she's tricky to defeat. But she's also the type to see sacrifices as necessary. As an example of what I mean by chaotic neutral, in the question, you're in a car and there's only 2 ways to go. One is an old man, the other is a bunch of innocent people. A normal person would sit back and say, hit the brakes. But Brindlestar is the type to say the old man, because one loss isn't as bad as a handful of losses, a sacrifice in what she thinks is the greater good. Now, how many of you thought about hitting the brakes in this situation? For Hawthorn Clan's deputy, we have Miss Blaze, a spotted blue tabby with long fur and yellow eyes. I didn't mess with his design, I kept him how he is. He's also the same age as Brindlestar. Bold choice of her to have 2 inexperienced cats as a leader and deputy. But she feels it's justified as she trained side by side with him, and she can feel like she can rely on him no matter the situation. So for his character, he's quite the typical strong, loyal, and trustworthy deputy. He's more lawfully good and he follows the code to a T. Stern with his clan when needed and gentle when he sees fit. The general deputy that the clan actually supports despite him being younger than some. Not too much else to say, he's pretty stereotypical. Now Thornstream, the clan's medicine cat. He's described as a long fur chocolate with gold eyes. I decided to make him a this word cat, and I draw them. I like drawing them, but I do not support the breeding of these breeds. To take a step back from the fun of Warrior Cats world, brachycephalic or squish-faced cats are unethical. For the same reason as squish-faced dogs, they cannot breathe through the nose very well, if at all. Squish-faced cats are also prone to a certain condition where their brain leaks out of the back of the skull. I put a formal study article in the description about it. It's quite complicated and plain unethical, which is why I'm adding this in despite drawing a few cats with it. I like the artistic design, but I also add in their flaws just to help make it aware of how unethical these cats are. Anyway, enough serious talk. I've got my point across. Back to Warrior Cats. Like I said, Thornstream is a squish face, and is the reason why he became a medicine cat. He struggled to hunt, fight, or even patrol without struggle, and his aim is also off. So he went to the medicine cat at the time when he was an apprentice, where he made the decision to be a medicine cat. He learned after a bit of study that he loved the job. For his personality and character, he's a very gentle spoken cat. He looks like a big fluffy teddy bear, and he is one. His clan loves him not for only his work as a healer, but for his calm and soothing personality. They trust him even if the situation is bad and scary. The clan's calming heart. With a name like Thornstream, I thought of a gentle soul. Now for the warriors. First we have Cinderear. She is said to be a blue spotted tabby with short fur and yellow eyes. Wow, a lot of yellow eyes in this clan. Whilst drawing her, I thought of an anxious character that goes overboard with safety. Safety for any kind of cat. And I also thought she would look too much like Miss Blaze, so I made her ticked. Like I said, I love ticked cats, and Cinderear became one. Next is Yellowstone. She is said to have black and red tortoiseshell with mackerel or wild type striping, with short fur and hazel eyes. As I was drawing her, I mistook tortoiseshell for calico again. My bad. But I also thought of a chubby cat with the first cat to have a different eye colour. I also thought she could be a kitty pet who met the clans and wanted to join. And for her name, I decided to add in a bit of background. Her old two legs found her as a kitten when travelling to Yellowstone, and named her after it. So the clans kept her name since it was close enough to a warrior's name, despite not knowing the origin. For a character, she is playful, what's life without a little fun kind of girl. Comic relief, really. Next is Daffodil Stripe. She's a cream spotted tabby with short fur and yellow eyes. I did play with her design. I got tired of yellow eyes, so I gave her green. I gave her stripes instead of spots because I preferred to draw them and to name her Stripe in it. And I gave her low whites. If you aren't familiar with cat colours or cat genetics, low whites basically means they have SW alleles, and that just means they have under 50% of their body white. For Daffodil Stripe, I made her a senior warrior. She's not old, but the oldest warrior, and the new warriors would often seek her for advice. She's calm yet sassy cat. She does her job well, but if you disrespect her, she'll give you a taste of her own medicine. And lastly is Common Nose. He's a black classic tabby with long fur and green eyes. Now here is his drawing, and good eyes will notice that the website said she cat. So is Common Nose trans? No, I just noticed that there are far more females than males. So when I saw the last cat and thought there should be at least one Tommy warrior, mainly because I wanted to do family trees and I couldn't do that without at least one father. Oh, and I also draw him at 3 AM, so I saw a black tabby and made him black when realistically or genetically accurate, he's meant to be a brown tabby. Whatever, he's now unintentionally smoked, which is a solid coloured cat with the gene for silver, but since he doesn't have the gene for tabby, he is smoked. I can get into greater terminology, but it can get confusing and complicated if you don't know cat genetics. So here's a silver cat, and here's a smoked cat with ghost striping. These are both caused by the same gene. Simple. Alright, so his character. He's laid back, lawfully neutral kind of cat. He does his job well, but if he sees an opportunity to lay around, he does. He also loves to visit his kits in the nursery along with his mate, Cypress Cloud. Now moving on to the only queen in the clan, Cypress Cloud. She has short red fur with green eyes. When drawing her, I thought of a short fur version of Squirrelfly. Can you see it? I guess I can add her 3 kits now. They're too young to have defined characters yet, so it's Wild Kit, Vulture Kit, and Willow Kit. I rolled a d6 to see how many kits you have, and I used a different name generator for them, and made their designs from looking at their parents. Cypress Cloud is a more strict, whilst her mate is more laid back. She keeps him in line, and she does everything in her powers for her kits to grow up strong. She is also the mother of Cootpaw, him being her first kid. Speaking of apprentices, first we have Applepaw and Emberpaw. Yes, I draw them together for some reason. Applepaw and Emberpaw are siblings, from the same litter. Applepaw being a red classic tabby with amber eyes, he's more playful soul, which can be adorable to be around, until you realise he finds great enjoyment in toying with his prey before killing it. Being Miss Blaze's apprentice, the deputy had brought his concerns up to Applepaw, but Applepaw doesn't seem to understand the problem. To him, as long as he gets the prey back to the clan, what's the problem? That's just how he views it. Now we have Emberpaw, Brindlestar's apprenticeship. She is said to have black and red classic tabby with golden eyes, but again I messed up, so she's just calico. And for some reason I gave her blue eyes. I guess I saw the whites and realised she had the opportunity to give her blue eyes. For those who don't know, cat eye colour is yet to be discovered what gene and blah blah. Except blue. Blue is just lack of pigment. The last 2 apprentices are Cootpaw and Roachpaw. Cootpaw is a black mackerel tabby with short fur and amber eyes. And I made her like a copy-paste version of her dad. So she's not actually a tabby, but a smoked with goat striping. And she does look a little skinny in her drawing. Observant ones can see that her whiskers are a little off. This is because she caught mange, and when she's not in training, she's in the medicine den. Thornstream doesn't know what caused her to lose her fur, but for safety, he keeps her in her own nest. Now Roachpaw. He is short-haired blue Tom, with copper eyes, and as you can see, he is also a very squish-faced cat. Thornstream keeps an eye on him, and at the beginning of his apprenticeship, made him aware of the struggles up ahead. Cooper is like her dad, laid back, enjoys life, and does her job well. Her dad is her mentor, so she takes after him a lot. Roachpaw is the son of Cinderear. No one knows who the father is except Cinderear. But she also has the right to keep it private. Roachpaw is determined, and despite struggle to keep up, he refuses to give up on his dreams of being a warrior. Though with his squish face, he can't hunt across long distances, and he took a night to himself to learn how to stalk more efficiently. He got into trouble for not telling anyone and disappeared. But when Brindlestar and his mentor, Daffodil Stripe, saw how well he did, and how he overcome his weaknesses, they let him off with a warning. For our last category, the Elders. There are only 3, Roanpelt, Limefur, and Blackstream. Roanpelt is a red classic pseudo tabby with short fur and yellow eyes. He's also the father of Applepaw and Emberpaw. His mate passed since having kids in her advanced age, and took a lot out of her. That is also what pushed Roanpelt to retire, realising that he isn't as young as he used to be. He's more of a gentle and soft-spoken soul, but after the loss of his mate, he's grown distant and only talks to his kids. Thornstream had been trying to help with him, but some wounds take time to heal. Limefur is said to be a red mackerel tabby with curly fur and hazel eyes. I've had enough of red cats, so I made her cream or dilute. I made her cream or dilute. Cream or dilute chocolate, I think I meant to say. Yeah, I made her cream and also ticked. She's no nonsense type of cat. Although older, she still has a sharp tongue and is blunt when correcting someone. I've also decided to make her the mother of Dandelion Stripe. Dandelion Stripe, it's Daffodil Stripe. Moving on. Lastly, we have Blackstream. She's another cat I changed the design of here. Okay, here is what the website said. Pause to read. And here is what I drew. Again, I have missed the ticked heart. I would have made a ticked, but now she's a brown tabby with short fur and high weights. Low for high weights, but it's over 50%. She's a more introverted cat, sticks to herself, but Cypress Clouds likes to bring her kits to her since she's a good storyteller. Blackstream doesn't mind though. She finds it fun to tell stories. For background of Hawthorn Clan and Water Clan to come to be, this will be written out like an elder telling a kid a story of the history of the current cats. Lost in a two-legged place, a large and pitch-black cat by the name of Dover, and a tall, light-coloured Tom by the name of Loaf, sat and watched all the road cats that were not forest cats nor kitty pet. They saw the daily fights, and how kids hid behind their mothers to escape the violence for food. The two cats of Dover and Loaf saw how helpless these cats were, and wished to each other that they could stop the fights and feed each cat peacefully. That night, a cat from the stars visited their dreams, showed them the way out of Two-Leg Place, through the fields and forests, past the wetlands and islands, to Great Rock. Under the Great Rock, the cat from the stars advised them to look for a stream that glows in moonlight. That morning, Dover and Loaf set off, travelling through the terrain until they found Great Rock. Just like their dreams said, they followed and found a way under, travelling in the dark until they found it, Moonstream. Dover and Loaf drank from the stream and slept, but when they opened their eyes, they were greeted by hundreds of cats from the stars. Star Clan. The cats from the stars came forward, one by one, told tales of their lives and when they lived in the territories. And cats whose pelt looked like fire told them the warrior code and told Dover and Loaf to find their cats, take them to their new home and live as their own clans. With this new knowledge, Dover and Loaf set back to Two-Leg Place, shared the same stories and explained the warrior code. Cats who hunted better in the forest followed Dover, and cats who preferred wetlands followed Loaf. In their new home, Hawthorn Clan and Water Clan came to be. Back at Moonstream, Doverstar was born, and Lothstar was born, the first leaders of the clan. Back to current day, well, just before current day, in a prologue. Echostar had his deputy and mate Cloudflower die from old age, and knew his time was up soon. StarClan came to Echostar before he made a decision who to make a deputy and tell him that Brindlefang must be the chosen one. They also told him a prophecy, soaked thorns calls, for two can fall. The Brindlefang strikes at Feral Cat's lakes, the golden ear perks to the den's search. He makes Brindlefang deputy, and one night later he passes in his sleep. At the Moonstream, Brindlefang gets the lives of defense, strength, balance, peace, hunting, care, learning, knowledge, and justice. Doverstar also gives her the prophecy in her ceremony. Having just lost their leader and deputy, Brindlestar being completely new to the job, Hawthorn Clan is not in the best state right now. She does make Mistblaze her deputy, since the clan does view him as a reliable warrior and a strong candidate, although some did suspect Daffodil Strike to be deputy since she's more experienced as a warrior. The clan also seeks a bit security, since most warriors are injured when Echostar had them fight for Robin Pines, the Greenleaf before. Coming up to Leafbear, they're worried about their strength when warriors are still healing. Fawnstream is the one who calms the crowd, saying that Covenant Nose and Yellowstone will heal just fine, and that Daffodil Stripe is already back on the job. It helps with Hawthorn Clan's vulnerability. They can't help but feel uneasy. Little time skip filled with apprentice training and the average warrior cat clan life. It's time for the gathering. Spiderstar of Water Clan is the one to notice Echostar not present. She approaches an elder, Linefur, but all Linefur says is that she will know soon enough. So when the gathering starts, Brindlestar jumps on the Great Rock, delivering the news of Echostar and Cloudflower. She also explains how she is the new leader of Hawthorn Clan. Water Clan isn't too impressed with Hawthorn Clan. Since the Battle of Robin Pines, but Spiderstar declares a new beginning with Brindlestar. They both agree to wish for a more peaceful future. Gathering goes like normal, clan news and the usual. But before everyone leaves, Brindlestar calls Spiderstar for a moment. Brindlestar asks if StarClan had given her the same prophecy. Spiderstar said they didn't, but thanked the new leader for sharing said prophecy. Throughout the moon, Leafbear came in strong with early snow and harsh winds. Hawthorn Clan is happy to have thicket forest trees for cover, but peace does not stay when Yellowstone and Cinderear came back from patrol and reported to Mistblaze that a strange cat scent was found in Standing Oaks, their northern territory. Mistblaze took Yellowstone, Daffodil Stripe, and Covenant Nose, including Cootpaw and Roachpaw, to investigate. They smelled something that was like feral or rogue cat scent, but there was a lot of it in scent markings. Whilst they were investigating, a large cat had charged them. It was larger than any of the clans had seen, and with his thick fur they couldn't fight back, so Mistblaze told them to retreat. When they returned, Mistblaze and the others were a little battered, and Brindlestar asked what happened. Cootpaw explained as the others went to Fawnstream to get patched up. Brindlestar called the clan to explain that they should not hunt in Standing Oaks, not until they can be sure the territory is safe again. But in Leafbear they all knew that won't be for a while, and they just lost their strong hunting grounds, when they needed it most. This is cheeky, but I'm running out of time, so I'll be going to make this into 2 parts. The next video we're going over the story building, the climax of the story, and the resolution or ending of this challenge Hawthorn Clan has gotten into. If I add it in here, I would have to cut it down and it would affect how great of a story it is, even in summary form. So I'll see you on the other side of this little cliffhanger, and next time you will learn of the clan's greater challenges to come and how they deal with them. I also wanted to thank everyone who made it this far. For my first full video, I hope every single one of you enjoyed it. See you in the next one, and always have a lovely day.